Welcome to Destination Jamaica Theo channel. Now today we have Sashoie Grant-Bartley, the very first interview in our Overcomer series. We want Jamaicans to know that we have issues and we have beautiful solutions. We are overcomers, we are achievers, and that we might be going through a lot, but we can manage. We have Sashoie, who's going to share with us a very personal yet empowering story about her journey to and through pregnancy. So, Sashoie, let's speak to you a bit. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Sashoie Grant-Bartley. I am a survivor of endometriosis and a mother of one, and I'm a wife. And by profession, I am an auditor and an accountant. For fun, I like to chill with my friends and eat and watch Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
And and I have a new passion, which is farming. So that's what's happening pretty much.
Oh, that's great. I should share the
Yeah.
video on farming that we did the other day with you afterwards.
Okay.
Great. So sure, we're just going to dive into it. Let's speak
Mhm.
about, you said that you're a survivor. Let's speak about that journey. We spoke prior, you said you had fibroids, right? And let's,
Right.
before we even go to the journey of what fibroids, what you had with fibroids, what is fibroids? Or what is a fibroid?
A fibroid, it's a non-cancerous sort of it's non-cancerous that affects mostly Black women. And it is the most common sign of it is a painful period, sometimes the heavy bleeding, painful intercourse. It's normally removed only by surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes dieting helps because what happens is it feeds from hormones.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of chicken and stuff like that will sort of fertilize it and help it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So having a proper diet will help, but depends on the size of it. And it's hereditary as well. Depending on the size of it, you have to remove it by surgery. And mine was very large. It was, I think, the size of a 4-month old. So I had to do a surgery to remove it.
Oh, so that's a big ball of
A big
non-cancerous
ball.
tissue
Right, right.
that
And
looks to
mine was
be.
pressing on the lining of my uterus, which caused the heavy bleedings.
Mhm.
Mon- right.
So how did you discover that even before you went to the doctor, you had the symptoms, you had
Yeah, I had the painful period. I had the heavy bleeding, like the bleeding was ridiculous.
Mhm.
I I think I passed out twice from bleeding.
Wow.
Um, Nothing would help. I went on the birth control to help the bleeding, but it didn't do much. It didn't do much help. So I ended up having to do the surgery to remove it in 2015.
Mhm.
So it was literally whenever the time came around for my period, I couldn't do anything. So if I had somewhere to go, anything to do, I had to literally put it off. And then I said, no man, something wrong. And then I was reading up and realizing that if you're having your period and it affects anything that you do on a regular, like a normal activity, something is wrong. So
Yeah.
that was when I went to my doctor. And just by feeling my tummy, because I had a little tummy and I thought it was just weight and everything. So when she felt my tummy and did her examination, she felt it, and I did the ultrasound to confirm it, and that
Mhm.
was the size of it and all of that. Even the injection, I tried to go on, but it didn't help much. So it
Mhm.
was just the surgery that would have removed it.
Yeah, you raise a valid point that there's much that we experience when it comes to our periods that we think it's totally normal.
Yeah,
Or
it's
something.
yeah, man. It's not normal. Pain is not. A little discomfort is fine, But if it affects your daily activities, then something is not right. It's something
Yeah.
that you're supposed to do. Right.
And that's why we need to definitely go to the gyno to see what's happening.
Yes, we should.
So how did you feel after discovering that you had fibroids?
I'm just ball. I'm just sit down on a ball. Like, but it's stressed out. I was just stressed out because
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, okay, like, you hear people do surgeries and every day and all of that, but you actually being in the number to do it, not knowing what is going to happen to you. And you're saying, you want to have a child, and based on how big mine was, it was a possibility for complications during
Yeah.
the surgery.
Yeah.
And normally they would say that if there are complications, one of the side effects is that you might start to bleed, and they cannot find where the bleeding is coming from. And whenever that happens, what they'll do is to just remove the womb.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very worried because I wanted to have a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just thinking about waking up and not having a womb, and how distressed I would have been,
Yeah.
and it was a lot to process. And then the expenses was another part of it,
Mm-hmm.
because at the time I didn't have health insurance, so everything was literally just cash. So it
Mm-hmm.
is finding all that money, because I tried to do it at public, where you do it for free. But that was another drama, because I got on the list, and I think it's 6 months after I got up on the list to do it. And on the day of the surgery, they had to cancel it because they had some more urgent cases,
Yeah.
and I had to leave and go back on the list, and that was just crazy. So I decided that I'd have to find the money to do it private, because I had to get rid of it, because my blood count, everything was just on the low side because of all the bleeding. So it was a lot of stress. And I can understand with what a lot of us as females go through, because some of us have it and don't know, because
Yeah.
we don't check it out, and we don't, we
Mm-hmm.
think it's probably normal. And so, and it just keeps on escalating. And yes, I just had to get rid of it. So I just put things
Mm-hmm.
in place, because I
Mm-hmm.
needed to basically function and have a normal life.
Yeah. And it's a risk that you were willing to take despite the expenses, despite the risk and the
Right. It
worst
was
case or scenarios coming to your mind.
right. I didn't have a choice based on how, because literally the pain was so much. Like, the pain was so much. I remember one day I was coming home and I was in so much pain, and somebody saw me on the bus and was trying to talk to me, and I couldn't remember my name. I couldn't remember anything.
Wow.
It was really bad. But
Yes.
apparently I was having the pain was also from endometriosis, but I didn't know I have it. So
Mm-hmm.
even though I was having pain from the fibroid, there was something else that was
Mm-hmm.
causing a lot of pain for me.
Yeah. And we're
Right.
going to speak about that other thing that you discover during surgery. So you knew that you had to get rid of this, not just for the pain, but because you wanted a baby, right? So,
Well, yeah, I wanted a baby, but I wanted like my life back, because I felt like I was controlled by something. Like, I couldn't be who I wanted to be, because every time my period would get near, I would get really anxious, and it would really affect me, and I
yeah.
couldn't just live like that. So
Mhm,
I found out that at least I have to find out what is happening, because
mhm.
I have to get my power back, because I have to move on with my life. I see
Yeah.
people going about the business, and I just look at them and wonder what it is like to be able to do that, to just get up. Oh, my period is here, but I can still go on the road. I don't know what that's like. From high school, I think, from about
Oh.
third or fourth form, yeah, that really started.
Mhm.
So I really couldn't have it anymore, and decided that whatever I needed to do, because I wasn't going to live like.
Yeah. You had to do it. Well, thanks for sharing that. That was really powerful. And I'm sure a lot of women can identify with what you have been experiencing. So I hope if you're listening and it's something that you're going through, probably it's a time to take a trip to the gyno. I know it can be very hard for us to actually go there and think, boy, something wrong with me, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And the surgery
Better
are
to
killing
know.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to know, because the quicker it is, the better you can catch what it is and treat it, as opposed to if it gets too late, and the
Mhm.
shoulda coulda, that's
Shoulda,
another
coulda.
stuff.
Yeah. Now, how did you deal with it mentally, though? In any tips that you have for people who are going through this to mentally prepare for something such as surgery, or even finding out that they have fibroids and further?
It is a constant push, you pushing your own self, because I've had, I think it's three surgeries in total.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, 3. And it is you literally left out. It was very depressing, but I realized that, listen, there's a path that was created for me, and somehow this is the path. I'm gonna have to get through it, because this cannot be the end. This cannot be what my life are gonna be. Cannot be. There has to be a light somewhere at the end of the tunnel. So I need to just keep on a push. And it is understanding that everybody has a struggle. Unfortunately, this is mine. So it's about, how do I get my struggle and push through my struggle so I can have better days? Because if I don't push myself, nobody else can push it for. Because everybody will sympathize and understand what you're going through, but nobody's feeling what you're feeling, and the world still goes with or without you.
Yeah.
So you either go pick yourself up and move on, or you're just going to sit there. And I decided I cannot sit there. Cannot.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, Sash. Now, Sash, you mentioned that when you went to do the surgery, they discovered something else. Would you like to speak about that?
When I went to do the surgery, I found out that I had endometriosis. No, endometriosis is a chronic disease that affects a lot of us. We don't know, but pretty much in layman terms, what endometriosis is, around near your period time, your body releases some hormones that basically says, listen, I'm getting ready to host a baby, right? So what happened is, you have some cells that you call endometrium cells, and those cells, they start to thicken inside the womb in order to hold the baby. But whenever the body realizes that no sperm is there, it sheds and comes out in the form of your period. But what happens and those cells are only supposed to grow inside of the womb. But with endometriosis, those same cells, which are supposed to be in the womb only, they are outside of the womb. And the same way that they thicken and shed inside of the womb, they thicken and shed outside of the womb, and they lodge at different parts of the body. Sometimes they lodge and build up on the ovaries. So you have some people trying to get pregnant and they cannot get pregnant. It can lodge around your stomach, your anus, anywhere. There was a case for somebody where it traveled and lodged at the eye or the foot. It's anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and just like how it sheds while you're having your period, it sheds, but because it has nowhere to escape the body, it just build up, and it sort of like forms a web. So there's parts of the body inside that there's a web-like thing, and sometimes the web joins and connects two different organs. I had mine around my womb. So I was trying to get pregnant and wasn't able to get pregnant. So what you have to do is use electrical signals to sort of burn it, and it gives you sometime about 2 years or so. They normally give you about 2 years to try to have a baby, because it is something that continuously grows. It doesn't go away. And it is, you have it when you have, some of the symptoms is painful periods, sex during period, painful period when you have sex. Their stooling is painful, urinating is painful, back pain, constipation, and I had most of those.
Oh, a lot of pain.
So while I was having right, I had a lot of pain. So I was having that pain as well as the fibroid pain. So I had double amount of pain. So surgery removed a good amount of it. But I was supposed to try to have a baby within 2 years, but I was trying, but it wasn't happening. But then I got pregnant maybe about 4 years after, 5 years.
After the surgery?
Yeah, after the surgery. Didn't even know I was able to have a baby, because my chances did kind of look very dim, you know, because of the whole endometriosis thing. And I've known cases where persons found out too late, and it's basically they can't have any kids. So I told Dean, my husband, that maybe he should find another girl, right? Because I know say every guy wants to have a child. You understand? At some point, they want to, and I don't know if I was able to. So I told him that he should go and find someone that would be. Yes, it would hurt me, but I didn't want to be the reason why that happiness that he wanted so bad I wouldn't be able to give him. But he decided that he's not going to leave. He's going to stay. So
yeah. So it was very rough, not just for you, but for your husband. And
it was not for him, because he felt that everything was going to be okay. But I didn't feel like everything was going to be okay. Yeah, man, me and the warrior and the fritter and everything, and he was just the Mr. Positive and that wonderful stuff. I was saying this better you go on, because next thing 5-6 years down the line, because when he proposed to me, I wasn't pregnant. So I was saying to him, what you do? You don't know if me can get a baby. You sure you are married to me? Right? And he said, yeah. And it was, I think, 4 months after that, I got pregnant. 4 months after the engagement, right? So then I convinced him it was the baby why I did really want to stay, because he really never knew at the time, you know?
Yeah. You know, easy, you know, Sash. Sash, before we get to the whole pregnancy and the joy that you felt, or what you felt during that time, what was it like for you, emotionally, mentally, knowing that you had the the fibroid? Well, the fibroids, the surgery took that away, but you were in a lot of pain. You were sad, depressed. You don't know if you were gonna have a baby, and you really wanted a baby, right?
Yeah, I wanted a baby more than I wanted to be a wife.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time when that happened?
And I told him, I said, I was about, I know I wanted to have a baby from I was about maybe 18. Because I love kids. I love kids, right? And I said to Dean that, listen, yeah, it's good to be a wife, you know what? Whatever. But for me, being a mother is something that if you know, like with perhaps some people don't have kids and they're okay. And you know, if I don't get married, I'm okay. But if I don't have a baby, I go in some serious depression. Like I don't know I felt that one of my purpose here on earth was to be a mother.
Yeah.
So when I found out the endometriosis and everything, I'm in a friend for ball. I just start ball. Everything I just start ball. Like as me I say, this cannot, because I know people with it that cannot have children. And I think it goes up to stage 4, and I was at stage 4. That was the worst level of endometriosis.
Yeah.
Right. I was at stage. I am sure I'm probably almost up there again based on the pains that I'm feeling. Because there is a familiar pain that you feel whenever, because you don't just feel pain when you're seeing your period, you know. You feel it before the period and after the period. Right. So emotionally it was hard. And it was some days, because I cry a lot, because sometimes the pain is really bad. Even currently, there's some days that like I literally have to shut down based on how I'm feeling. But it is, for me, I felt like there was something controlling me. Like I felt like I wasn't able to be as great. Like if I do maybe a test and I get maybe a 70%, I could probably get at 80 or 90 if I wasn't in pain. So I feel like a lot of what I do could be done better if I wasn't being limited by a disease that completely takes over my body.
Yeah. And
so I have that dealing with, right? But I feel like at the end of the day, I was still able to pass the test. So I felt like I win. So it's a constant trying to win this thing and not letting it win or to have power over me, you know.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
I understand. And you said this is a lifetime illness. It doesn't go away. It's something that you have to live with.
It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. But there are things that can help it, like dieting and exercise. So that is part of the reason why I end up losing a lot of the baby weight and a lot of the pain, a lot of the weight from the hormones that I was on, is because what I have to do is eat a lot of anti-inflammatory foods that helps with pain, with inflammation, because I have a lot of inflammation. So foods like all the berries, strawberry, blueberry, all of those stuff, they help
Yeah.
with inflammation, and
Uh-huh.
celery, kale, and so mostly healthy food. So what I do is I try to eat most of those, as well as seafood that will somewhat limit the pain a little bit. Not by a great amount, but it helps. And whatever helps counts.
Yeah.
So it's changing the diet, including exercise,
Mhm.
and praying, and having a support system around you
Mhm.
that is very positive. It's very positive.
Okay. Thanks for that, Sash. You mentioned treatment for endo. After you did the surgery 4 years before you got pregnant, what were some of the things that you had to do with the treatment? Anything medically other than dieting and Mhm.
Medically, what they try to do is put you on hormones, because what they try to do is sort of stop your body from ovulating so that you don't produce any of the cells
Mhm.
that will shed. So you don't see a period, basically. But then, so it would be like the depot or the what they call it, birth control pills, those birth control pills. There was actually a treatment for it, but I think it was an injection every 2 or 3 months. But one of the injection was, I think, 20 something $1,000 per injection.
Oh,
A lot of money.
yeah, it's expensive. And
It's very
healthcare,
expensive.
healthcare
No,
covered.
no,
Oh,
no, no, it
okay.
doesn't.
So that's all on you and
Right,
your
right.
support system.
So, but for me, right, but I ended up couldn't taking any because I couldn't go on the birth control pills because I have a family history of um blood clot and
Mm,
stroke.
mm,
And one of the side effects of the birth control pills is blood clot. So I couldn't take it.
mhm.
And then the injection, no, it made me really fat. And then I had a breakthrough bleeding and a lot of complications. So I had to come off it.
Oh,
So I literally had just the exercise and
and the
the
diet.
diet.
Yeah, because
And
everything
then
else was like against you. The odds were against
everything else was against me.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
had to
it
do
was
it.
it was it
Mhm.
was yeah, it was rough because the pills made me really fat. And then, so and then you're dealing with the changes that's happening to your body, seeing a different you, a side to you that you're not used to. So even your self-esteem start to get, shaken. And then persons can be insensitive because people see you, don't know what you're going through. And somebody be like, oh, you're big and fatty, or we got to make you big and fat. Like, and the experience has taught me so much, like having endometriosis
Mhm.
taught me a lot, because it taught me that there are persons dealing with things that the world doesn't understand, but the world doesn't understand that persons are dealing with things, and what you say at a particular time can literally break a person. So I had to get to the place where I realized that people may say something to me, but it is coming from ignorance. They don't understand what I'm going through,
Mhm.
because there's a possibility that if they knew what I was going through, they probably wouldn't have said it or reacted that way.
Mhm.
But you're not going to have the time to explain to everybody what's happening. So it's like going on the road and know that you're going to be looked at a certain way, but you just allow it to just run off your back. Like I have this duck effect thing where anything at all that doesn't contribute to me positively, but
Mhm.
just allow it to just run off my back. Whether it's people's comment, whether it's persons, whether it's friends, because for me, pain is an everyday thing for me. So like tomorrow I'd say, okay, I want to get up and play with my daughter. I want to do some cooking and I want to do some washing. Chances are I may get to do one out of the entire list. It's not like for somebody who gets up and can do everything that they plan to do. It's literally what my body says on that day. And part of the reason why I have this thing where I say I have enough dealing with in terms of pain. So anything when not positive to me, I just cut it off. People say that I'm probably insensitive or I'm very, but like I cannot deal with so much personally and then take on negativity around me or people that doesn't contribute to me in a positive way. And I don't care who you are, because I've learned how to love people out of my life. And that is something that a lot of us have to learn to do. There's sometimes we go through some things and some people, them not help with positively. Them just make how we feel worse. And it's okay to love them from a distance. So I've learned how to detach and to just have in my circle persons and energy that is very positive for when I am not feeling at my best.
Yeah, that's a lot of value that you just shared with us. A lot that we should take away from that piece that you just shared, that we really should be mindful of what we're saying to others. But also, as someone going through the issue, you have to just learn to just filter them comments there, like throw it in the garbage bin. Yeah.
Filter it.
And not bother with it because you have too much to deal with now and you have to value yourself so much that you have to rise above it. And I love what you said about they not even knowing what you're going through and you understanding that. That was very mature of you, that them just not know, and when they must say kind of invalid because them not gonna understand and not know. So that's really good, Sach. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now let's speak about the joy. You got pregnant.
Yes,
Right?
girl. I got pregnant. Didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't even know. My mother told me I was pregnant.
Mommy them, but tell you about them.
Mommy
How she
them.
know?
The mommy them. But no, no, I tell you, I've always said that I wanted to go to carnival. I've always, and for 1 year me I go. But I always say I wanted to go to, but for some reason, I always only find out about carnival the day of carnival or when it's too late. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm there one day, I said to Dean, and mommy was here as well. I was saying, oh, Mr. Everybody up was carnival I keep. And then I said, but every year I go carnival. And I said, no, man. Next year, I go carnival. And mommy said to me, no, sir, you're not going to no carnival because you're going to be pregnant. So I said, no, sir. If I'm with me, I try. Right? And then she said to me, say, don't. And when the time actually came around, and me I said to Dean, say, well, carnival near or whatever, she said to me, say, your period not late yet. So I say, yeah, it late. And she said, pregnant. I said, no. Oh no. Because this is 4 years. It's 4 years, 4.5 years. I was trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Right? So I said, no, I'm going so,
Mm-hmm.
And then I tell Dean, and Dean said, well, oh, your mother go. Anything she say, I say go.
Say go.
So it go. So I went and got the test. But I told him I wanted to eat first because I don't want no bad news on a hungry stomach. Belly full, somebody can know of everything. And we got the test. And I came home, I peed in the cup, and I gave him and tell him to take the test. And then he come back and tell me, because I'm full of excitement and full of nice and whatever. He's the very opposite of me. So him come back with the test and he's like, oh, you're having a baby. I'm like, what? We mean have a baby? And what excitement, right? I literally could not believe, like I went and I did, I think maybe 3 or so tests after that. Because I said something wrong with the one we take, because right. You can't write. So I was, I don't know, like the words to explain how I was feeling, like, I don't know. I still cannot explain it to you. As rough as the pregnancy was, the remembering that first moment and I realized that I'm going to be a mommy. I don't know if I explain the joy. I don't know. And I feel like although it was a rough journey, I feel like for all that I've been going through in terms of pain and the stress and everything, I feel like it's a reward. I feel like she's my reward and my compensation for everything that I'm dealing with and still is dealing with. You know, a constant reminder that, listen, you know.
Mhm. So big up your baby, big up your princess.
I know. She probably don't dare tear down the place.
Can't wait
And
for
then
mommy come.
sometimes when she,
Go ahead.
and then sometimes I wonder because she was so small, you know, because she was premature. So she was like 1.5 pounds. She was this like a handful when she was born. And then to watch her grow, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. God is amazing.
Indeed, God is great. And I'm really happy for you, Sash. Like, but they are one ball right now, even though the baby is like, your baby is like, what, 6 years? How old is the baby now?
She's two.
2. Right? 2 years old.
She's two.
I feel like we just like
listen, must still ball because there are so many times that I thought I was going to lose her.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of complications and she wasn't getting enough blood. And she had I think in total she had about 11 complications as a premature baby.
Wow.
And I think the one that stood out the most was an apnea episode that she had where she had stopped breathing. Girl, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So let's dive into that a little bit if that's okay with you. You got pregnant, you were joyful, happy, you weren't thinking about anything that could go wrong in that exact moment. And then afterwards, reality sink in when you start go to the doctor and you realize that, oh, possible complications.
Yeah.
So what were some of what was like the first doctor visits like?
You know, the first doctor visits were fine. It's up to 3 months. When I was 3 months, I realized that my cervix was acting as though it was ready to open at 3 months. So it was very soft and mushy, and that is coming from my endometriosis.
Yeah.
So so I actually went to do an examination, and just by she doing her regular examinations, I started to bleed. So she was saying that if it doesn't stop bleeding, she's going to have to do a stitch to keep my cervix intact. And it didn't open. It didn't open. It stopped bleeding. But then I think at 20 weeks, I started to blow up. Like I was just blowing up in front of my eyes. I was just like my fingers, they just started to look like, you know, when you have gloves and you put water in it, it just started to swell up, and then my pressure started to get high. So like I had a pressure of, it started at maybe 140 going over 80, and then within another half hour it flew up to like 160, 190, and then it went up to like 200 and odd, over 100 and odd.
That's high.
And it stayed, yes, and it stayed like that for the entire time until she was born. I was on 3 different pressure medication, the maximum dosage of each, and the pressure would not come down. And because of the whole pressure issue, I had kidney damage, I had liver damage, I had edema. So you would press a finger and your hand goes straight down into my skin. I had costochondritis, inflammation of the rib cage. I used to have people come look for me at the hospital, and they would pass me because they wouldn't realize it was me. Even Renee, I remember Renee came, and 2 of my other close friends came, and all of them passed the bed. Like, I said, oh no, see me, right? So everybody's like, oh, well, you know, them are trying to make me worry, because like, them must say, you know, I got them look frightened and nervous.
Yeah.
Because I was so big, and I had a condition that they call preeclampsia. Preeclampsia, it's a pregnancy-related condition that is, it happens at over 20 weeks. And it is what caused the high blood pressure protein in the urine.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that can correct it is birth.
Mm-hmm.
So what they try to do is keep you in the hospital so that the baby has a little more time to bake.
Mm-hmm.
But when they realize that you can't hold out anymore, then they take the baby. So that is why when I went in, they decided that I wasn't going to come out. And they gave me something that they call surfactant to develop the baby's lungs in case the baby had to born early.
Yeah.
And yes, I was just pumped up with drugs, and we couldn't move, we couldn't do nothing. And they eventually had to take her at 27 plus weeks, 27. Just reach almost going into 7 months. Had to take her because they couldn't find her heartbeat anymore, and my body was just shutting down. I couldn't breathe. I was on oxygen, and it was just a hot mess. And basically, they were saying to me that based on how small she was, there's a possibility she would not survive. Because when she born, you could literally see her veins them still in her, but yeah. And they were saying that they'll take her to the nursery to see how best to be able to help her. But I should, there's a possibility I may lose her. And I went into a surgery with them saying because of my condition and her condition, they couldn't give me any surety that both of us would come out. So I went into a surgery not knowing if me go come out or Saraya go come out.
Yeah.
And that was probably the hardest. I think that was probably the hardest thing, because when they said to me that they're going to take the baby, I called in and tell him that they're going to take the baby, so he should try to come. And he came, but I could not tell Dean at the time, said, me not sure, me a come out. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So, me just want to see him, and I saw him, and I just prayed him out and I said, God, do, please, make me come out, because I want to go home with my baby. And then I couldn't, if I did tell him, it would be too stressful for him, because I had complications again when I went in to have her. Because when you have any surgery, a side effect of that surgery is adhesion. And I had adhesion. So my, what you call it again, my placenta got stuck to my uterus in the middle of everything. So they had to be there trying to whatever they had to do in there. So going in there for, I don't know, I was in there for maybe more than 4 or 5 hours because of my complications. So if him didn't even know, say there's a possibility me not come out, and me in the 4 hours, I'm gonna probably drop down there, right? But I remember, and then another thing is through the having the baby, I thought I would be sleeping. I didn't know that they keep you awake. No. So I was awake for the whole cutting through, and you can feel, let me tell you, you don't like it, you don't feel the pain, but you feel the effects of the cut. My cut I go through, and I go, yeah man, it was crazy. And then I think because of how much water I had in my body, they couldn't find my spine to give me the spinal, the even that girl, my back is not the same. So I have the end of the back, and then because of the complications, they had to cut me wider, and I damaged a nerve. So whenever the time get cold, my C-section. So when I know one thing, and other, or sometimes everybody just decides that they want to fight together.
Yeah.
But it is a lot. It is a lot, but the fact that I'm still here, it means, my story isn't finished.
That's a true testimony, Sash. We see when we are, we're younger, we grow up, and we see the glowing, and that pregnancy looks so good. It's like,
listen, never again. Anytime anybody get pregnant, I pray for them. I'm so just take it one day at a time, because I'm gonna tell you something. You see people, and you see them look glowy and bright and rose. Some people have it very smooth,
Yeah.
But some will do have it nice. Do
Yeah.
someone we do have it nice. If someone have it nice.
Yeah.
And it was just, I really hope that would have been my last. I hope it will be my last surgery, because that was my third surgery.
Mm-hmm.
The second surgery was my intestine got stuck in my navel.
Wow. That was after the pregnancy?
Oh, that was before the pregnancy. Because
Uh-huh.
I have a hernia, a hernia is a space. It's like a circle, a little space in the,
Yeah.
it's a gap in the right. So
Yeah.
if you constipation, or if you lift anything too heavy, the intestine can just push and come through. And normally they'll just try to push it back in to. But because I have the endo and I have the constipation, one of the day, them girl, my intestine got through and stuck and
Wow.
was cutting off the circulation. So I leave, go work, and just feel like around my navel area get warm.
Yeah.
So I'd say, I call Dean and say, oh my God, the doctor, and him come meet me.
Mm-hmm.
And said, I have to go do a surgery right. Listen, the man said, I have to do a surgery right now. So some start laugh. This time I start laugh, because me I say, no, I must joke this. I must joke. It cannot be anything else, right? And then he was saying that I cannot go to UA, because if we go to UA, because I was at Papi, if I go to UA, I'm not gonna get through as quick. So I need to try to go probably one of the private hospitals, because this was a Friday evening.
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't start driving at the time. So me and Dean, they have to walk from Papine, go across the road to get a taxi. Then the taxi broke down 2 times. When we reach a Natal, them they close. Me I walk with the pain, and they were enough for walk all the way down in half a tree for Charter taxi for go medical associates. And then when we reach, they said they were going to do an ultrasound to see how bad it is. Do the ultrasound, and the man was like, oh, you have to do a surgery right now. And then he's like, oh, you also know you have gallstones, right? So I start laugh, because I said, no, I never know I have gallstones, but now I know, right? I said, okay, fibroid, endometriosis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And between all of that, I had a sister who was diagnosed with lupus, and a mother with 2 strokes. And then this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, like a girl don't get no break. No break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I still have the gallstones, but apparently they said that if I eat properly, so stay away from the oily foods and so, because if me eat bad, my stomach starts hurt me. So if I eat properly, yeah. So I guess with everything that's going on, I try to eat properly because of everything that is going on with me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was the second surgery, and then the third, and like every time I realize that my period is getting more painful, I think about, dear God, please, that's something I have to do a next surgery, because I've had it. I feel like 3 surgeries is enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough. And all of them, I had complications, because I'm somewhat allergic to the anesthetics.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always can't wake up. I don't know why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's so comical. It's on like a movie. Like sometimes I think about it and it just sounds like a movie. But I guess this is my movie, and something good have to come from it. I mean, I have boom boom and I have a wonderful husband. But like now, I'm trying to achieve the things I couldn't achieve back then because of how bad everything was, and financially, emotionally, and everything.
Wow, that's a lot. I mean, we look at each other and we truly don't know what another person experiencing. Our journeys are definitely unique. Pregnancy might be full of complications. For one, our life might be full of complications, but your will and your faith have proven to be pretty strong. You keep on mentioning God throughout, praying to God. Some people probably would lose them faith and cuss God, but you continue to trust him and persevere. And that's pretty awesome of you, Sasha. I must applaud you and give thanks to God, because you're here, you're a living true testimony of being an overcomer.
Thank you.
Yes.
It is, it is, it is very easy to give up. Very easy to give up. And with everything that I have, the disease will come, it no play. It don't play. It go on hard. Some have to go on hard. Because me can't go easy. Because there are things that I have to achieve. I have to achieve because I want Sarah to be a certain kind of human being growing up. And I want her to be able to say, she see mommy go through some things, but she see mommy push through it. So if there's something happening with, she can push through it. As opposed to if she see me there ball every day, I'm not try to, because we're not defined by what we go through. We're not. And we cannot let it define us. So we have to fight, because subconsciously we say things to the people around me, and I have to be conscious of what I'm saying to her without actually saying it, because some of the things and some of the traits I have is what I see from my mother, because my mother survived 2 strokes and she still pushed to go through. And by seeing her do that, it encouraged me to do the same. So I'm saying, but that means that the same way Sarah will grow up and look at me and say, mommy did. Because really and truly, we are a reflection of the persons we are around. So I have to, there's a lot of things I have to try to channel a different way, channel the pain a different way, and try to work around it. So if you tell me, say, today I can't do something, but just lie down, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do it. Might not get to do it when I want to do it, but I still get up and do it.
Yeah, because now you have someone who's watching and using you as an example, even though it might seem very stubble when she grew up, because we remember things from our parents. I was just talking to a mother about this. She's going to remember you in the most silent ways that you don't even realize, right? So being a parent is something that's pretty phenomenal, but very difficult, but it challenges you and it helps you become normally a better person, right?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Great. So we're almost at the end of the interview. I know you have to go soon. Happy belated Mother's Day, though. I feel like I should tell you that. Yes, mommy. So let's speak about life after the baby was born, premature. What was that like?
It was mixed. It was mixed because I was really happy to have her, but I had postpartum blues. So I used to cry a lot, and I still worry a lot because I know what I went through with her. So like if she even so much as clock a little fever right now, where maybe a tooth coming up, I start getting nervous. Like I have a lot of trauma from the whole experience of the pregnancy, but I'm still learning, and it is being a mother. It is something. It's like every day, and it's something where you stop learn. You just every day there's something new, and it's for me. I realize that being a parent is one of the most selfless things you can do, because it is being able to sort of give up what you want to do at a time to put all of that energy into a tiny human being. Because you'll get to do what you want to do, but having a child is a lot of sacrifices because their needs come before yours, and it teaches me patience as well, because you're trying to teach her how to potty. You're trying to teach her, little, because with Corona and everything, you can't send her to school. So you have to be a little teacher. So it's teaching her that you have to teach her something 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then realizing that eventually she gets it. So that is why I think some of the time that, just like Australia tried to get something eventually after doing it so many times, I can do the same. So like if I try to do something, I'm feel at it, just keep going. So in a way, she brings out a better side to me, a better version of me that I didn't know I have.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's something to learn from children. I don't have kids, but my nephew and so forth. When
Yeah.
I see them, like when my nephew born, it was like the happiest day of my life. It was like, geez, it's just something else. But I observing him and being a writer and just seeing how he's trying to walk and he never walk early and
And
keep
then
at it,
don't
keep
give
at it.
up.
Did not give up. Feels like
Yeah.
even other days, Sasha, I was talking to my friend. I was like, girl, we need to have that zest that we used to have when we were kids. When you drop, you get a little bump, you get a little
Yeah.
cut, but you go again, right? So that's something.
If we just need to be like kids, we just need to be like them because them not stop. And when them drop, you tell them say don't go up there, so them go up, them curious, them still a try. We
Yeah,
just need to have the mindset of a child, and a lot of things we would accomplish more. We
that's
would
true.
accomplish.
That's true. So two more to go. What's something that you want to leave with your audience after hearing your story? Any advice, any tips for life? Not just about pregnancy, but you have gone through so much, and I'm sure that you have a lot more to share. So probably your top three tips.
Um, you are not your pain, you are not your circumstances, and you are not any difficulty that you are going through.
Mhm.
Push through it, fight through it, because this cannot be the end. Whatever low place you are in, whatever you are fighting, there is a victory at the end of it. Just keep pushing because no one will push you for you. It has to be you.
Mhm. Okay, great. So thank you. So thanks for sharing that tip. And to your family and to your daughter. 10 years from now, your daughter could be watching this or your family. Is there something that you want to leave, like the present Sash now with them?
The present Sash.
Mhm.
I love you, boom boom. Always and forever.
Yes.
Continue to be the bright spark that you are. Continue to be curious, continue to be strong, and continue to be the fighter that you are, because you are going to go places and you are going to make me proud. And I hope that I am around long enough to see all of it happen.
Yes. Manifesting it, God, you will be.
Yeah.
So I found that when we're going through such struggles, we might not see it through the tunnel, but
Yeah.
spiritually, I feel like when we have God around, we just can get through it. We might not see it now, but before you know it's 10 years and you're blossoming and you have your book out and baby 12 now and hubby dead here and who knows, probably another kid. I don't know because we never touch on that.
Oh
But
no. Oh no, no. Oh no.
but that's
He wants another,
it.
he wants another one. Listen, I thought I was going to have a boy because I wanted a son too. I wanted a boy and a girl, but boy, girl, when I have not gotten over this
Yeah.
trauma yet, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Maybe, but oh no, no, oh no, 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 no.
Well, Sash, it would be great to do a follow up with you probably a few months from now to speak about that. You mentioned your foundation. How can people contact you? How can they support your foundation in your work?
Um, the foundation. I'm going to keep you on the loop. Keep you in the loop on that. I'm trying to at this stage now. I'm trying to register it to properly register it and so forth.
Mhm,
But it's a foundation that is centered around giving back.
mhm,
So whether it's communities or homes, go spend time with the kids or outreach program. I'm trying to sort out what you call it now, one of those mentorship for kids, because I know the kids going through a lot with the whole pandemic and they're not doing so well because they want to interact and it's affecting the grades. I'm trying to come up with a program to get individuals to, mentor some of the kids, give them some encouragement. So I'm working on that on the back end, but I'm trying to formalize everything to make it
mhm.
legal and support. So whenever I'm through with that, I'll let you know. And
Okay.
I'm sure you'd want to mentor one of the kids.
Yeah. You see, people should put me on the spot. She's a children's writer, children's writer will mentor. Of course, I would love to support you, and I'm sure our audience will too. Anything that they can reach out to you, any Insta, so if they want to connect with you and probably sign up.
Yeah, you can message me on my my Instagram page, and I'm going to send you I
Thank you.
have a page, you know, the Nana Foundation. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you when I'm through, so
Yeah.
you can have it, right.
Okay, no
The
problem.
Nana Foundation, yeah, the Nana Foundation. Never Alone, Never Abandoned. That's the name I gave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nana, one curious thing, because I know say everybody call you Nana. Where that name they come from? And next time, it's come like, oh, what story is that?
Nana is actually from banana.
Oh.
Right. Mommy said that when I was a baby, I love my belly. I girl, you know, I love my belly. I still love my belly.
Yeah.
So she said that the first time I walked up to a bunch of banana,
Mm-hmm.
and I sat on the floor and I peeled them and I ate about maybe 3. And I guess me they eat too much and my belly too full and me just start ball. So
Mm-hmm.
from that day, she called me banana. But then everybody started to call me Nana Banana. And then the Nana just stick. And then Nana just stick.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you, Sashoie. It's just Sashoie Grant-Bartley, Nana.
Thank you
It
for
was
having me.
great speaking with you, very empowering. And I know that someone, even if it's one person, will gain a lot from what you're saying. We're
I
gonna
hope so.
Yes, I hope so too. I believe so. I know so. We're gonna close now. If there's anything else you want to share, you can before we close.
Um, they can contact me on Instagram, Nana Grant Bartley. I have a little circle for persons who goes through like endometriosis and so forth, like an endo group. So like we support each other and we talk and so if there's anybody who might be having the disease, and sometimes it helps to talk to somebody that is going through what you're going through. It doesn't help, but that familiar circle that you can say to somebody, say, listen, I feel like mega dead, and them say, boy, girl, I understand the same so I feel. And it's not somebody just trying to empathize with you, but somebody who's actually feeling what you're feeling. It helps. The support helps. So I have a little group, so we talk and we share, we check on each other and so forth. So you can probably message me on IG and we take it from there.
That's awesome. So you
Mhm.
heard Speak Out, connect with Nana, she's been through it, and the group that she has there because support is very important. You might be experiencing this or something a bit worse. Speak, get the community support and pray. And we are sending good energy and vibes to you out there. No,
Oh
thank
yeah, and also knowledge is power, and we should listen to our bodies. Our bodies always tell us when something is wrong. We need to listen to it, and don't be afraid to go to the doctor, find out what's happening, because it is better to go and find out what is happening and to sort it out than not to go and then it escalates into something
you.
big.
Yeah,
So listen to our bodies and treat it well.
definitely. Well, thank you so much, Nana. It was great. And thank you for listening. It was awesome. Do remember to subscribe. This is our very first episode in the Overcomer series where we share powerful, challenging, inspirational stories. So subscribe and share for more and have a blessed and beautiful day or night.